Good Monday morning. The big show is on the radio. Hang on. We'll play that current events quiz. Easiest way for you to join the winners in just a second. First, of course, you know, we have a lot of listeners down south who went through the tornadoes last week, and we wanted to talk with somebody at the first-hand experience on the ground there. We have Casey Sears on the line. He is father of two great kids, son Madison, daughter Ella Morgan. He's sales executive for Cahaba Media Group based in Birmingham, Alabama, that produces trade magazines for the construction and healthcare industries. Also, the state of Alabama athletic commissioner. And Casey is nice enough to join us online this morning. Good morning, Casey.
Good morning.
Good morning. Well, Casey, I know you've seen a lot. Have you ever seen anything like this?
I haven't even come close to it. I mean, it's the only thing I can describe it as what it must be like to see a bomb site.
Mm-hmm.
It's just raised earth and mounds of rubble in some areas, and you know, they've reported death tolls, and I'm afraid once FEMA gets out there and really starts doing their work, it's just going to rise. I just don't see any other way.
See, because there are still hundreds missing.
Yeah, there are, and in Alberta City, if anyone's familiar with the area, is lack of a better way to put it, is just gone.
Mm-hmm.
There's just nothing left. It was like Katrina with a 2-minute warning. It's just really been overwhelming. And you know, I've seen some things that have just unbelievably heartbreaking. You know, folks living in tents, people that are living in what is remaining of a mobile home. One lady was living in her bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I met a lady who had 3 kids and nowhere to go. And she was told to call back, and maybe they had something for her. And you know, we did our best to find her shelter, but just to be around and hear these stories was it was really heartbreaking. Still is. It is heartbreaking.
So, Casey, that you worked on a search and rescue team and also a chainsaw crew. How many chainsaws have you gone through?
Yeah, well, we, you know, I started out. Of course, I'm a sales guy. I'm not typically used to, you know, running a chainsaw unless it's a small tree in the backyard.
Right.
For my wife, and we grabbed everything we had, me and a friend, and he was an old combat medic, and we just went to work, and we burned through the motors and several chains, and he had bought another one, and so had I, and we were about to get to work on those, and a gentleman from Atlanta just walked up out of nowhere and handed us 2 commercial-grade chainsaws and case of water and pre-mixed oil and gloves, and said, you boys look like you might need this.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. From Atlanta.
God bless you, and
Man.
he walked away.
Man. And I guess you have witnessed a lot of that coming up, people that you don't know from all over. I'm seeing coming up and bringing supplies or whatever they can do, because you really just don't know what to do. You have to kind of take it a day at a time.
Yeah, and I can tell you, on the upside, you can't pass a community center, a church, a street corner without a volunteer offering water or food or shelter. That part has truly been amazing, and there's absolutely no shortage of that. Now, I say that to say this. You know, the easy part is over. You know, as weeks to come, you know, and food resources and the resources we do have start to dwindle, then it's really going to get hard. But you know, there has been a real you know, community pulling together, and that's been nice. I've also seen you know, folks looting houses, and you know, there's a downside to what is out there as well.
Casey's wife, Johnny, was my daughter's roommate in college. Her and her husband, Bill Summers, went to Alabama, and Anita went to school there. Casey, where were you and where were Anita and the children when this happened? And describe that to us.
We were actually across the Black Warrior River. We were right on the river, and we were in a closet, and best we could, in the center of the room. You know, my son is 11, my daughter's 6. and we were watching, which is, this is a new a new element, I guess, to modern times. We were watching it on her iPhone, and they had mentioned at the time, if you're in Northport on the Black Warrior River, look out.
How much notice did you have?
We literally had minutes at best, and those things are so hard to predict. And I remember sitting there thinking, this really may be it. Yeah, I've never been so terrified in my life. It was really, really rough, and we tried to get out as soon as we could. A friend of mine, Lou Lombardi, who, I would trust him with my life, and several others, we were able to at least help the EMS crews break down doors and get in there to save folks, and some we did and some we didn't. But it's really been rough.
And you talked about the downside where theft, looting, is always going to be an element like that takes advantage of these situations. And I was thinking the first responders, the police, the fire, I mean, here's people who have lost their homes and lost theirs, but it's their job to go out and help others.
Yeah, and we showed up, and we were some of the first groups that did, and I remember going down, and the police officer that was standing there, and we asked where to go, and she pointed us down there, and we get there, and the fire chief and literally about 5 other firemen, and we said, well, where do we go and what do we do? And he just kind of shrugged. He said, I don't know yet. We totally taken off guard by this, and literally we're standing in piles of rubble. I mean, these used to be homes, and as far as I know, there hasn't been a real thorough search of that yet. Now that the National Guard is here, I'm sure that they will take on those responsibilities, but it was really so dramatic there in the beginning that no one really knew what to do.
It's something that's so widespread, like 200 tornadoes in the south, 4 or 5 in Alabama.
Did your ears pop? Did you have that barometric pressure thing?
I honestly can't recall anything except getting out of that closet and being so thankful and so blessed that all 4 of us were there. And when I left, and when my friend and I left with our chainsaws, I thought, I really don't give a damn what happens tomorrow, but right now, we're going to do our best to help anybody that's out there, and that was pretty much universal. Now there were some when we get out there that were just haphazardly walking over power lines, which I still can't understand that. But and there's most of the city is without power on that side of the river. It's going to take a while to get that back.
Well, like we talked about, the people coming in with supplies and helping out like that. But like you said, Casey, this is just the beginning. This is going to be a long road
years,
back. And a bunch of Big Show listeners, I guess the best thing to do is donate to the Red Cross or Samaritan's Purse, an organization. That,
the Red Cross, and I really am being honest. I can't really. You can't pass a church if the Calvary Baptist, St. Matthias Episcopal. If there's a church organization you're affiliated with, the Red Cross certainly. The Red Cross even had their shelters destroyed, and so they are in desperate need of supplies and food, as we all are.
You still have a curfew, and what's happened at the university?
The curfew is in place. And that is largely to prevent the looting, which I mentioned. We sat, as we're cutting trees and pulling people out, we're watching other people go door to door and take things out. Now, the university was fairly untouched. There were a couple of instances where there were students that lost their lives, and they were off campus. Most, the safest buildings in town, frankly, are on campus.
They canceled graduation and just called off the semester. Is that what they've done?
Yep, that is absolutely correct, and they were wise to do it. I don't know that they really had any other options.
All righty, Casey. Well, thanks for joining us this morning, and thanks for the work you're doing. And I know, Dan, it's just a great bunch of people and you guys pulling together. But like I said, a long road ahead. If anybody can donate to Red Cross or Samaritan's Purse, that'll be the thing to do.
Thank you guys very much.
Casey,
Absolutely.
thank you. Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Man, it's just unbelievable.
Can you
How do you know? No, you know, you can't imagine.
They're talking when I was in St. Louis a weekend ago. And boy, this is a Category 4. Wow. This was a 5.
Yeah.
That's 205 miles an hour.
Unbelievable.
Which is anything in the path, man.
Anything.
Okay.
Complete destruction.
All righty, then. Well, glad we got to talk to Casey. And you guys, you and our thoughts and prayers down there.
Yeah.
All right, then. Well, let's play this current events quiz. Billy, we're playing for a pair of Costa sunglasses made for fishermen for over 20 years for a dealer near you. Check out CostaDelMar.com. And what are we dealing with, man?
On the lighter side of the news, as the Drudge Report puts it, Bin Laden dead, shot in the head.
1-800-BIG-SHOW. Toll-free line. Well, take caller 9. You take C, and you'll win that.